There is so much happiness, peace, and freedom when you let yourself be disliked, when you let other people to judge you as not good enough, when you no longer care about whether people like you or not. And you see, my love, this type of freedom, this type of happiness is so rare, especially in this day and age when a lot of us are pressured to need likes. It's like even if you're a business owner, you feel the need to be liked by others because you fear that if you aren't liked, people won't take you seriously anymore, and that people will just pass you by and they won't care about you. And no matter what you do, whether you're a business owner or whether you're just someone putting yourself out on social media, you will feel this pressure to want, to need, to have as many likes as possible. And it is so obvious how the social media algorithms have programmed, have looked at this programming inside of us, that reptilian brain, that social animal brain that is needing other people to like us. And it keeps us hooked onto those platforms. It keeps us constantly being slaves to how many people like your post. And I totally know that because I used to be that slave for a long time myself. I remember checking out how many people are following me, how many people have unfollowed me on social media, on Instagram. I remember even installing like a third party app because I wanted to see who unfollowed me. And every time I would see someone unfollowing me, I would feel a pit inside my stomach. Like, like as if I lost something. As if people walking away meant that I didn't have I I didn't have that goal of being popular, of being liked by other people, of being famous. I used to be so afraid of that. I used to be try to appeal to anyone, try to please and want to know what other people would like. And I would be like a puppet on social media. I would see what the trends are, where people's attention are, and I would waver myself based on it. And I remember how miserable I felt. I remember feeling like my goal of just having so many followers and so many people watching me, it felt like I was on this treadmill continuously running to get to that point in the future where everyone in this world would like me. And now it makes total sense because being liked, especially when we were young, whenever we were young, it felt like love. It felt like when other people are giving you compliments, and it felt like when your parents liked you and say that, oh, you're a good girl, it felt like love. And that's why it felt familiar. It feels familiar, and that's why we keep chasing for it. Because we are mistakenly thinking that being liked equals being loved, when actually it is not. At least not equal to true love, to God's love, to unconditional love. Because being liked means that it's like a thumbs up button and saying that you do a good job. And that kind of like is very conditional. It only likes you whenever you do a great thing. And you do a great thing based on what? According to other people's egos, according to other people's standards, their blueprints, their rubrics. And you have to follow what everyone else around you is thinking. And it's hard to follow what it is that you want and even know what it is that you want because you're so busy trying to follow what other people like. And I remember even for my career, it wasn't just in business. It was also like in my grad school. I was so afraid of not being liked by my coworkers because of how I was showing up online. I was so afraid of what my mentor thought of me, what my teachers thought when I was in school. And the same way, even when I became a spiritual coach, I became so afraid whenever I post something and I didn't receive as many likes as I used to in the past, or as much as how many other coaches, how many other people online were having. I felt not good enough. I felt inferior. I felt like I was pathetic whenever people didn't like me. I just felt like a piece of trash, worthless. And the way on how I shifted, what shifted me, what helped me realize is that actually this game of chasing for likes actually never ends. Is this trick that the ego mind plays, saying that if you are liked somehow, you're going to be popular, you're going to get all the things that you want in your life, and you're going to have like total bliss, heaven on earth. That's what the ego thinks. But really, thinking about it, no matter how you express yourself, there are going to be people who don't like you, no matter what you are. Just like how the plants are, right? Some people may like this red flower plant in the background, but some won't. I love dandelions, but there are people who don't like dandelions and they call it them weeds. In the same way, each of us are unique expressions of the divine. Each of us are meant to be unique. But whenever we're chasing the game of likes, we're trying to copy other people. We think that if we just become this extremely slim or fit or beautiful plastic surgery look or whatever things that we see on our surroundings, on social media, on your news feed, you think that that has to be your standard. You think that that has to be you. And therefore, you try to mold yourself to be like that, be exactly like that. And it feels miserable because you're busy trying to deform yourself, trying to figure out in your little mind on what people would like about you. And the same thing, I noticed that energy in the past when before I would write something on social media, my brain would first think of, ooh, what would people like to see? What would people like to read? What would people like to buy? It's based on other people and their standards. And of course, the irony is that it never ends. Other people, it's this very loud noise that and a crowd that you're trying to follow after. And this crowd is going in several different directions, so you don't know which one to do. And even if you follow it, you become so far away and disconnected from the truth of who you are. Because the truth of who you are doesn't arrive because of trying. It doesn't arrive, it doesn't come to you because you are trying to change yourself. It comes to you when you are listening. It comes to you when you are allowing, when you are letting yourself just be. Instead of being controlled by judgment, you instead let yourself feel loved for who you are. And that is when the biggest shifts happen. It's when you let yourself know that even if you are judged as bad, even if you are inferior, even if other people don't like you are so loved by God, by life, by universe. The universe doesn't judge you on who you are. It's only the egos of the society, the egos of your parents that judged you. The truth is, reality never judges. Reality accepts for who you are. And only when you can be who you are, then you can see what God has for you. How true love actually feels like and looks like, and what it's like to receive. And instead of only getting love, quote unquote, petty love, small love, when other people compliment you, whenever you hit a set amount of 1,000 subscribers or something followers, 100,000 followers, instead of only feeling loved during those very tiny moments, instead you feel loved at all times. And instead of trying to grasp and take in the likings, what other people say about you, instead of this hollow, graspy energy, instead now you can be your radiant self, because you're not trying to be anyone or anything anymore. You just exude this presence, this love of who you are. And just like in the Law of One, what Ra said about how there is service to self and service to others, needing to be liked, it's in fact a very service to self. It's a negative polarity energy. It keeps one constantly starving for more and more. It keeps one constantly looking out what one is missing and trying to sacrifice your own happiness, trying to sacrifice your truth because you are trying to get things from other people, which in this case is compliments, trying to get likes. So you're saying that other people have what you don't have. And of course, life confirms you to that, because you're living in that reality where you aren't enough as you are. You're saying that other people, their likes are more important than who you are. But my love, true love is experienced. Infinite love, God's love is experienced when you see the miracle of everything that you are, of everything that you do, and of everything that you speak. When you let yourself, let God express and be through you without any agenda, without any type of control forcing you to be anything, then you'd start to see that in fact, life is the same way. You don't judge life anymore. You see the truth, the beauty, the miracle of life. No matter where you look, you can't help but you can't deny it anymore, of how beautiful, miraculous, heaven on earth life is, because again, life is always reflecting you. Because now you're seeing love in everything that you are, the same way you see love in every part about life. And that, my love, is your true destiny. Your true soul destiny is to experience that infinite creation unfolding in you and seeing the total perfection of it, the total perfection of who you are, where nothing needs to change, but everything is simply to be witnessed and experienced.